is a difference between what you call as disruption and FOMO, that the word that we call it. So how do you differentiate between that? So is it really going to impact me? With AI, this is one of the largest questions that I see, that yes, it is important. Yes, there are some use cases within my organization, but there is also a lot of hype. Is it actually going to help me? Not going to help me? There is also a fear that I will miss out if I don't do some investments. So how do you say segregate between, say, a FOMO and a disruption?
So if I can just add something to your previous question, and I can add to also this one. So if I take your question, it is basically two parts, when and who. So when is like the when to look for a disruption is the simple thing, saying that okay, it's like there is a various models, and one is that okay, you have a sigma curve where you say that okay, how long I can create value and I exit this and move to another platform. The who part is something which is very important to see that okay, how long I'll exploit and when to shift to the explore option. What you have committed to your shareholders for your shareholders value creation. They are the biggest guy who will always push you that which direction you need to go. They will be unbiased. We all are biased when we are working something because we are putting our entire day there. We know that what I'm doing is the best, the product I'm dealing with, that's the best. Those guys will compare across the industry and say that okay, why should I invest in you? Somebody else is paying me better. They will push you that you do something which is give me X plus or X, NX type of returns, and that's where they will force you to go for a disruption.
But I'll give you, I think I have a very clear answer to your question. I think fear of missing out, FOMO, is for something which is visible to you, that we are missing this thing. I think disruption is about what you don't see. It's not visible. And that's how when the technology or any company has created a product or something which has surprised the people, that is called disruption. That's not fear of missing. Missing is something like what he said, AI. Everybody knows AI happening. Now we don't know what to do with that.
Everybody wants to get into it, even if they don't need it.
Correct. So that's FOMO. So that's FOMO, that I don't even know what to do with AI, but I have to do something. Right? Let me just train my people on AI. Right? But disruption is something which I don't think that even the consumer knows. But the brand has created that. Okay. Right, so probably when the first camera would have come in a phone, the consumer would not have thought that there can be a camera in a phone also, but that's disruption. So I would differentiate these two very clearly. FOMO is on something which is visible, but you're missing. Disruption is you're creating something which the consumer doesn't know.
But disruption can also happen that, when it is happening right in front of you, but you just fail to acknowledge it. Something like what BlackBerry did. They did not, Apple was there. Everybody was seeing the kind of adoption people are doing towards Apple or those smartphones. BlackBerry just refused to change and modify. They said, we are market leaders. This is how everybody transact on emails. They'll continue on BlackBerry. And
I would still say this was again FOMO. They knew this is happening, but we are not able to do it well. So
FOMO
but
or denial? Both.
Denial.
I'll give a personal example. I used to consult a lot with media companies, for a long time. This is mid 2000s, mid 2000s in New York. Record label, one of the global major record label company. We had a meeting with the CEO along with my global boss of media consulting, and we made a statement. We said, what if music is all free? The first reaction? The first reaction was that you have come to meet me sitting in my office. I run a media label music label company. You're telling me music will be free for everybody, right? The trends had started shaping up, right? There's a denial that what will happen, and we know how many record label companies went down after that, right? 2012, I was advising an Indian big telco, and we said you need to transform from a dumb pipe, telco pipe, to a content, enabler. They said, no, we are an infrastructure pipe, call, voice, SMS business, right? Jio happened, and it took the other telcos a decade or maybe 5, 6, 7 years to come back into the game and erode those losses. They are your field, creative, right? 10 years, maybe 7, 8 years back, people used to take Cannes Lions Award in Cannes were all creative guys. today, a lot of awards comes to people like us also, technology companies. Because we create content, we do creativity out of tech, like Adobe Firefly, for example, right? So the world is changing. It could be FOMO, it could be pure denial, it could be inability to invest.
Yeah. So I want to take this discussion a little forward by saying, see, there are some industry trends. I know these are industry trends. These are where my industry, because technology doesn't evolve in a vacuum. You have all the information. Look at electric vehicles, right? Electric vehicles, you have for all vehicle manufacturers, that's a disruption. Everybody knows it. It's not something that you can say it is a FOMO. But when and how, there is a timeline, there is something that you want to invest, there is something to do with that I will have to keep innovating on my engines which are ICE based, but still have to be in the EV market as well, which is a future of the market. So how do you see company taking it up? So one is that I take a share of, or say I invest in something which is an Ether, right? Or say I invest in an Ether, I take a 50% share now or 20% share now, and let it innovate. The other model is I create something completely inside, I get everything from the market and then create a team inside my firm. Which do you think is, say, a better way of, say, tiding it through this?
I would say it is again a lot to do with a very high level on the board or the management of the company to realize what's their DNA, and can they really manage that thing which they are, like what example we, and I'll give you two examples. Company is today because of the acquisitions that they've done. They acquired laptops and then they acquired, both are working very well for them. The only thing which they understood was that, we don't know this business, we will acquire these companies, we will not touch anything in those companies, we'll just acquire. Let their management be there, let them run the way they want to do it, we'll just invest, right? So I think it's all about understanding your own strengths and weaknesses and then take those decisions. That whether we should acquire, if you have the capability to do it on your own, then take that chance. If you don't have,
I just wondered, because you are such a big organization with such an ego, you say, of course I will do it. I've done this, why not this? It's going to be easy for me. That's how, I mean, for example, was also a smaller company doing planes only. They bought Eurocopter, which was a smaller German company. They bought EADS, which is a defense company from Spain, and they made themselves relevant in the business. And they didn't say we know how to do it. They said you do it, we will learn.
Another example which is in front of us is Mahindra is evolving very fast in EV segment, and Suzuki has not done anything. I'm not aware. So they are seeing Mahindra has taken such huge strides there, and they are doing both. There is the classic, the petrol-based cars also. They are going strong there because they know India might take a long time to adapt, but there's a new market which they are capturing.
And Toyota is even smarter. They said, I will put a bet on hybrid, yes, because charging station is a problem, and that strategy is working.
It's working. Yeah.
I'll see it. To some extent, it is your behavior. Okay, it comes very much from inside. To some extent, what he said, that you know your strength. For example, Philips. Historically, if you'll see, we are an innovation company. We loved to innovate. We failed miserably in the past to market them. We are the innovator for CD. How many people knows us? We are the innovators of Walkman. Yeah. So, how many people recognize us for us? Those things. So we were the pioneer of lighting. Okay. Today we say that we are one of the players there, though we have sold those businesses. So there is no right thing to do. It's actually, you should know that if I'm a great marketer, nothing wrong in that one. You should know, also find that, okay, who is the innovation company whom I should say that, okay, you are good in innovation, you do it, I'll sell it. Today, we are the first company to make a helium-free MRI. Okay. We knew that, okay, our strength is innovation and we need to work on marketing. So today, good part, and that's the transition which you have done. we have the highest install base for helium-free MRI. Okay. Not the second guy who is, the third guy who is started thinking about and planning to innovate, the second guy who has just launched a product, we are the highest in install base. So we have learned from our mistake that, okay, we are great innovation, not great in marketing, now we are doing both.
I think alongside with the DNA or strength, two important variables would be how much resources do you have and how much time do you have. Can you keep innovating, etc., and reaching there? Like Mahindra, they are innovating every year. The model or the engines of the EV is getting improved, etc. And probably Suzuki would be just sitting on the sides, waiting for everybody to innovate and then enter the market. When it is at an optimal this thing, everything has been set in the market. Hire the best brains, hire the best technology, and then launch your EVs.
You experiment, I benefit.
Yeah.
I'm just going back, and in the last discussion, we were talking about something similar to this, and I'm just want to do the connect. It was said that when Steve Jobs was there was a huge innovation budget because he was an innovator, and we are talking about innovation. Innovation, according to Steve Jobs, is when you give a consumer something that he is not even expecting. So nobody was expecting an iPhone, right? We were all happy with our Nokias, with our Blackberries. Nobody was expecting a touch phone at that point in time. Even the consumer did not know, and that's what Steve Jobs said, that that's real innovation. When you give them something that they are not even aware of and that they need, that they are not even aware of that they need. But Tim Cook is very different. He apparently has cut down on innovation budgets, and he's more around efficiency. So which is good. I think it has to be a balance of both. In an organization, you need to have innovators. You need to keep money for that innovation and ensure that those innovators keep on, kicking new things into the system every year. At the same time, the larger organization has to work around efficiency. So if everybody becomes an innovator in an organization, then there can be